Chrisley Knows best star Savannah Chrisley is giddy over a compliment, while Chase isn't amused. Keep reading to find out more about what's going on with this brother/sister duo. Earlier today, October 5, Savannah Chrisley shares a photo of her and Chase on Facebook. The Sassy by Savannah creator is sitting pretty and grinning from ear to ear, while her brother looks less than thrilled. So what is going on? Was there a sibling squabble? In the caption, Savannah shares why she's happy. The reality television star writes, "I'm just happy because someone told me I smell good today." Then she goes on to poke fun at Chase Chrisley. She says, "Clearly Chase needs a compliment." Further poking fun at her brother, Savannah writes, "Geezzz, don't be jealous, bro." And then the young businesswoman shamelessly plugs her latest product. "You can smell good too with at Sassy by Savannah," writes Todd Chrisley's daughter. Recently, Savannah Chrisley took to her social media to reveal that she is finally releasing her fragrance line. She shares on a post on the Sassy by Savannah Instagram page why she created this product. The Sassy by Savannah Instagram page is full of promotional content for the newly released perfumes. From the looks of fan comments, the fragrances are well received. Some of the reviews of the perfume are below. When it comes to Savannah Chrisley's Facebook post about Chase being jealous, some fans stick up for Chase in the comments. One fan writes, "Everybody always picks on poor Chase, and he's absolutely adorable." Another fan writes, "Chase seems to be much more mature than Savannah these days. She really gets on my nerves lately." One fan even speculates how Chase must be feeling in the photo. See their comment below. What do you think about Savannah Chrisley making fun of Chase and promoting her fragrances? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. Make sure to come back to TV shows Ace for more Chrisley Knows Best news. Savannah Chrisley's laughter echoed through the marble-floored hallway of the downtown Nashville boutique, her blonde curls bouncing with each step as she recounted the moment to her makeup artist Paley. The smile hadn't left her face in hours. Not since that compliment. It was the kind that danced in a person's memory long after it was spoken, casually offered, but landing with the weight of a personal anthem. It had taken her off guard, stirred something sweet and validating within her. A simple, sparkling moment in an otherwise predictably manicured day. It had come from a photographer. An established one, mind you, who'd been shooting a behind-the-scenes spread for a Southern lifestyle magazine. Savannah had stepped in front of the lens with the poise and fire of someone who knew her angles and owned her narrative. Still, she hadn't expected what came after the flashbulbs died down. He tilted his head thoughtfully, half-smile playing on his face, and told her she didn't just photograph well. She was magnetic. Not pretty, not fashionable. Magnetic. And that, to Savannah, meant something different. It meant substance. It meant presence. It meant charisma that didn't need retouching. She replayed it in her head like a favorite song. It wasn't vanity, not really. It was more about how rare it was to feel genuinely seen in a world that praised filters over feeling. For someone who had grown up under a microscope, being told she radiated something from the inside out was like a small revolution. The world had long known Savannah Chrisley as the quick-witted, camera-ready star of Chrisley Knows Best. A blonde Southern belle with a penchant for sarcasm and strong lipstick. But that compliment cut through the artifice and spotlighted the Savannah who rarely got airtime. The driven woman building a brand, the sister fiercely loyal to her siblings, the daughter carrying more weight than she let on. Meanwhile, Chase Chrisley wasn't exactly sharing in her delight. They sat across from each other in a sun-drenched cafe 2 blocks away from their next PR meeting. Savannah stirred her matcha latte with a quiet hum, lost in the replay of her magnetic moment. Chase tapped his spoon against the edge of his espresso cup, the clinking a little too sharp, a little too rhythmic. His brow twitched every few seconds, barely perceptible unless you knew him. Savannah didn't need to look up to notice it. She felt it. It wasn't jealousy. Chase wasn't the jealous type in the traditional sense. But it was something. An irritation that fluttered just beneath the surface, cloaked in a chuckle or a shrug. That's how Chase processed discomfort. Through mild, biting sarcasm and deliberate indifference, the dynamic between the two siblings had always danced on that edge of friendly competition and true camaraderie. Growing up in the reality TV glare had given them both thick skin and sharper tongues. But something about this moment, this compliment, rubbed Chase the wrong way, not because Savannah had where it was due, but because of the way it had lit her up. The giddiness, the glow. It wasn't that Chase wasn't proud of her. Of course he was. But lately, everything had been about her brand, her growth, her journey. He was proud, yes, but he was also tired. Tired of being the funny sidekick, the one with a few offbeat ventures that never quite stuck. Tired of the shadow he didn't ask to stand in. So when Savannah dropped her phone on the table with a wide smile, she just posted a carousel of BTS shots, the caption already filling with praise. Chase leaned back in his chair and raised an eyebrow. Savannah noticed. She always did. Their banter had always been their armor. But today, there was no punchline. Just a pause. Back at the boutique, the stylist offered Savannah a new rack of options for an impromptu photo op. She was glowing, and they wanted to capture it. She stepped behind the velvet curtain to change, still unaware that Chase had ducked out for a smoke he didn't really need. He stood outside, watching traffic, watching time, watching everyone but himself. People passed him by, oblivious to the cloud of thought gathering above his head. Somewhere between his parents' legal troubles, his own entrepreneurial missteps, and the endless carousel of internet speculation, Chase had lost a bit of footing. Savannah had found hers. That was the difference, and that difference was becoming harder to ignore. The compliment, magnetic, echoed in his mind too. Not because he thought she didn't deserve it, but because he wondered what it would feel like to be described that way. Not funny, not charming, not the cute one, but compelling. Someone people were drawn to, not just amused by. By the time he returned, Savannah had finished the quick shoot and changed back into her street clothes. Her mood was still light, but a thread of concern wove its way through her usual sparkle. They walked side by side down 12th Avenue. Nashville pulsed with its typical summer buzz. Music floated from open doors, and couples sipped iced tea under striped awnings. It was the kind of day that wanted to be remembered. Savannah broke the silence first. She didn't ask what was wrong. She just mentioned how rare it was to feel genuinely seen, especially by someone who didn't want anything in return. The comment was gentle, not pointed, but Chase heard it for what it was, an invitation to be honest, or at least vulnerable. He didn't take it. Not then. They stopped in front of a mural, an abstract splash of blues and oranges. Savannah posed, half ironically, while Chase snapped the picture. It was a good shot. She didn't ask to see it. She trusted him to get it right. That, more than anything, spoke volumes about their bond. Later that night, they sat on the back patio of their parents' house, the stars blurred slightly by the glow of city lights. They shared a bowl of kettle corn and watched their dog chase fireflies it had no hope of catching. Savannah mentioned the compliment again, this time less brightly. She admitted it caught her off guard because she rarely saw herself that way. The cameras had taught her to curate, not to be. To be magnetic meant something she hadn't realized she wanted until it was offered. Chase, this time, didn't deflect. He said he got it. Not just the compliment, but what it meant to feel invisible even while being watched by millions. He admitted he'd been annoyed, not at her joy, but at how quickly he'd measured his own worth against it. That maybe he'd forgotten how to chase something for its own sake, not just for applause. There wasn't much more to say after that. No big revelations, no grand sibling hug, just quiet. The kind of quiet where understanding blooms. In the days that followed, Savannah's post went viral, reposted by influencers, and liked by fans who echoed the sentiment. Magnetic, stunning, inspiring. She smiled at the messages, but she didn't float away on them. She stayed grounded. Chase started sketching out a new project idea. Something that wasn't about chasing fame, but about building something he actually cared about. He didn't need applause for it. Not yet, anyway. The compliment had been simple, spontaneous. but it shifted something.